Alright everyone, welcome to the Cosmic Reach Lighthouse Showcase video. We had 13 submissions for this one, which is quite a lot. Since there are 13, it's going to be kind of hard for me to go through and pick out whose is whose and all that stuff. So as I'm playing through them, I'm just going to go straight down the list. Instead, I'll just put a picture on the screen so you can see the author name there. Also, I can kind of go in blind this way, so I'm not biased towards any particular person. The winner of the bridge challenge was Sir Ninja Monkey, and he messaged me, I'll put a picture on screen right now of that, with some of his feedback with the different lighthouses that he played through, and he asked if he could help pick the winner of this challenge, and I said, yeah, that's totally fine. I'm going to decide who I think the top maybe 3 are, maybe top 2, maybe just the top winner, and then I'm going to kind of merge my results with his, and if we agree on a certain map being the best, or pretty close to being the best, then I'll declare that one to be the winner. So his results will have equal footing, basically, in the winner, as mine do. So anyway, let's get started. The first one we have here looks like a big upside-down ice cream cone with the ice cream. If you picture, like, that's the cone right there, and it comes up, and you have a big ice cream, which is the island. When we walk up to it, we have this little entrance here of packed basalt, is what this is called. I think I know the names of every block now, whereas before I didn't, because I recently did a video about my block tier list in Cosmic Reach, and I had to know all the names for each of the blocks. So I went through and I used F3 and I just looked at everything that I didn't know. Actually, let me look at that again. Lunar, oh, actually I was wrong. Okay, Lunar Soil Pact, there we go. So I still don't know the names. This is a nice little outer ring. I like this a lot. Obviously the wooden planks mesh well with the water. We have little crenellations on the stone. And let's start going up the tower. I'm going to try to keep it on the day lighting for most of these maps because I think the day looks the best when you're surrounded by water. So we'll go inside of here. On the first floor we have a little shelf made out of snow and some red lights. If we go up this metal stairs, we have sand and some orange lights. Same thing all the way around. Next one is going to be yellow with some grass. And then going up we have green with some dirt. And then we have this light blue, or cyan, with logs. We have purple with basalt. We have more purple with wood. Go up again, we have this magenta or hot pink with some lunar soil. Going up again, we're at the top of the tower, and this is where the light is at with the lighthouse. This is the kind of the ball that spins around and shines out into the sea. I'm not a big fan of lighthouses that kind of have an encasing around the light at the top, because this light here, what it's supposed to do, I believe, is it's supposed to spin around 360, or maybe not 360, but just out towards the sea, and it's supposed to shine a light out there so that boats and things can see it and direct them towards the harbor, I think is how that works. When you have it surrounded by logs like this, that light can't effectively do its job. And that's a huge part of the lighthouse. Now, I could be mistaken, but that's going to be how I end up partially judging some of these maps, is based on that. And this one just doesn't have it. The light looks cool, kind of packed in there like that with that spherical shape, but the logs are kind of in the way, and I don't really like that. But that's it for that tower. It's pretty basic, not much on the inside, in fact, almost nothing on the inside. But it looks nice. I like all the different colors, and if I change it over to pitch dark, this is what we get. Pretty cool. And move on to the next map. Alright, loading in, I'm flying. I just started out flying, and this is what I see. It already looks really good. Honestly, right off the bat, I'm liking this better than the last one. The last one was nice and colorful, I did like it, but looking at this, it's just a sight to behold. So walking up towards the forest, we have these big trees. They're all pretty identical. I think they're identical. They're pretty tall. I like this a lot, actually. When I was building trees in my own world, they were really small, but these ones are a lot bigger. They almost look like they were auto-generated with some kind of mod. And that's totally fine if they were. You can use mods if you'd like to build, and they look nice. They look like little popsicle trees. One thing that might make them look even cooler is if there were some kind of lights in them, maybe at the top or on the sides, and the light would shine out, so you'd have a colorful forest at nighttime. Now, walking up to the tower, it's a towering tower, towers above my head. And let's go around really quick. We've got stone all the way around. I like how this is a stony lookout area, stony hill. When we go inside, really skinny, really skinny. We've got little windows on the sides. I like this, how you can see the ship. We go up the wooden stairs, got a bluish purple light in the center to make sure that you can see your way up in the night. Keep on going. We have a top room up here. We've got glass slabs, vertical glass slabs on top of vertical wooden plank slabs. And oh, actually, I wonder if that's a little graphical thing that needs to be updated. So I guess one little suggestion for the game to improve the game. I know that if you place full glass blocks, it removes the sides of other glass blocks, but it doesn't seem to do that when you're working with slabs. So just something I noticed, because it kind of looks like there's a glass block missing where you can see the sides of the blocks. Alright, so in the middle of the room, we have the big old light bulb, and this is the thing that's supposed to shine out in all directions. This one isn't as obstructed or confined into one little space. And it does have a 360 view, except for these logs on the corner. I think these logs on the corner could still be a problem, because for example, if you wanted to shine the light out in that general direction, you wouldn't be able to do it, because these logs are in the way, so it still causes a bit of a problem, but the freeness of this room is better than the last lighthouse that we looked at. And let's keep going up. At the top, we have some light bulbs shining down. We have some lava up here, which is going to burn the whole thing down, but no worries, because we've got some snow as well. Should melt in the water and take out the lava. We've got a little chair looking out of a window. If I hop on here and sit down, let's see, how do I, okay. That's about as good as we're gonna get. You can see some natural beauty out there. And yeah, that's it for the little lookout area up here. I'm gonna go ahead and clip out and look at the architecture on this sucker. I like how it's built up here. How all the blocks kind of stick out and you've got the different slabs. And yeah, it just looks like it's well built. We even have some staircases built into there. And if we keep going down, we can see even more like good architecture that I probably wouldn't do with my builds, where we have the logs that are kind of coming out in order to support the upper room on top so it doesn't come tumbling down. We have these sort of window shutters on top of the glass blocks and some more design around the windows with these logs sticking out. Pretty cool. And then if we head over here, is there a way? Okay, so it looks like there's stairs. I thought there'd be a path through the mountain, but there's stairs here, which I actually like better. I'm glad that it doesn't go down through the mountain. And then we hop on these iron blocks, or these metal blocks, and we have a ship right here. This part here is, I'm guessing, just a dock with a machine. Yeah, it's just a little crane, I guess, that holds up the ship, a little boat lift. And the ship itself is not complete. It's just the hull, I guess, or the chassis or the outline or the body of the ship being suspended right above the water. Oh, I see. So these packed lunar soil blocks are part of that machine. They're coming down, and then it's kind of like a claw. It's lifting the machine up and lowering it. Pretty cool. I like it a lot. That's pretty creative. And that's it for this world. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, I just found, so loading into the next world, I found another bug that is carried over from, I mean, an older update tried to fix this where it stopped you from falling through blocks, but I just found that if you have slabs instead of full blocks, and I try to fall from a high height, not even a high height, but anyway, it just happened there. I'll put it in the video where I just kind of clipped through the block, so that's another thing that needs to be fixed. For this one, we spawned on a little dock, a double dock. I guess you can park your boat in the middle here. The legs go all the way down into the bottom of the sand, and there's a staircase, so let's climb up here. Getting up to the top, we see a very light house. Let me change it over to pitch dark. So this is not a traditional lighthouse, but it is a very light house, as in very bright. When we walk in, this is what we see. Purple floor, black and white floor, blue ceiling, a little check-in desk or something, little table. What is this supposed to be? A little water basin, I suppose, with some lava above it. Also known as cheese. Yeah, not really. More like lava. Coming up the stairs, what do we see? We got some blue, we got some green, some yellow, some whites, all kinds of colors, very bright. In this room, we've got some logs, some wooden planks, a little table. Going over to this room, we've got a bed made out of lights. Man, that'd probably hurt to lay on. And that's about it. So this isn't a lighthouse in your traditional sense. There's no big bulb at the top. Technically speaking, I did ask for a lighthouse, and this is a very light house. So good job. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, spawning in, this is what we see. We have another stony lookout. I like this a lot. I like how people are doing this, where they line the mountain with this basalt stone. It looks really nice. And then on top of that, we have a little lookout area. I guess I'll just start from here. Oh, I just clipped through the ground again, so you can see how that... Wait a minute, is that a slab? Yeah, that's a slab. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely clipping through slabs. We have a little lookout area here with a bench. We can look out at all the water. Any boats floating by, we can see them. We can wave at them. Maybe they'll honk. We got 2 yellow light bulbs right here. If we change it to the nighttime, or No, not pitch dark. Let's go to space day. This is what we get. Pretty cool. Going back to the Earth Day lighting, we have some very creative trees right here. 2 of them. These kind of look like willow trees, weeping willows, how they kind of hang down. Not exactly, but it's creative for the blocks that we currently have in the game, which is not a lot, as you can see by this inventory. Yeah, I like this a lot. Cool. And then in the grass, we have some dirt blocks, which acts as a little dirt path leading up to this lighthouse, and I guess over to this house over here. So let's go over to the house first. There's nothing else out here, but if we go inside, what do we see? We got a little room with some water and a window. Up top, we got a light bulb. Heading over to this other room, we've got a bed. We've got a little... Oh, I just broke your table. Sorry about that. We've got a little table with a log seat. A fireplace. This looks very fireplacey. I like it. Oh, that's the asphalt block. Maybe that could be a magma block instead. It would light up the area a little bit. We got some stone outside of that so that the house doesn't catch fire. Good idea. Actually, I think I'm going to take a screenshot of this because this fireplace... Might want to keep this in mind for later. Yeah, let's go to the lighthouse now. This is the main thing. So we've got some stairs going up to the entrance. Inside, we got a much bigger room than what I've seen in the past. Just a wooden plank stairs and a big wooden plank staircase. I like this too. I like how it extends out and it's not right against the wall. It also uses slabs instead of actual stairs. Pretty nice. You can just walk right up. Got this nice little pattern of asphalt blocks and snow. Then you've got the white lights hanging down above. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. We get up to the center room. We've got the yellow light right in the middle. We've got it surrounded by glass blocks, so it can see 360. The problem with this is that you've got those aluminum panels surrounding it, which blocks out a bunch of the view. Or, you know what, maybe the aluminum panels are supposed to be the thing that spins, and then the light is in the middle. If that was the case, then there would always be 2 spots where the light, like 180 degrees, so the lighthouse would be shining that way, and it would be shining that way. Oh, you know what? Thinking back on it now, I suppose some of the other maps could have also worked that way, where the light isn't the thing that really spins, instead it's the thing that's encapsulating it. So if that's the case, sorry about that. I didn't even think about that till now. I like how it's a yellow light. It could be any color, it doesn't really matter. But for some reason the yellow lights just it feels more natural with these lighthouses. A full walkway up here at the top. I like how the bottom light is just above the walkway so that it gives it more space to shine so that these vertical slabs aren't in the way. Now, if the light wanted to shine downward toward the sea, it wouldn't be able to do that because these wooden slabs are actually still in the way, even though the light is 1 block above, because it would have to shine down at an angle. So that's a little bit disappointing, but I do like this top area quite a bit. It feels more open than it actually is. So when you're walking around here, you don't have a ton of space, but because it's glass and you can see inside, it feels more open. And it looks like the lighthouse is wearing a little hat. And that's it for this one. Oh, another thing I noticed is that the roof on this thing, you've got a little chimney, and then some of the blocks here are the packed lunar soil, and some of them are the basalt block. So you've got some variety, some creativity going on there with the roof. That's all for this map. Let's move on to the next one. All right, map number 5. Spawning in, this is what we see on a little hill. It's surrounded by water. We've got a lighthouse on the very top layer of grass, which is a pattern of snow blocks and red lamps going all the way up to a wooden walkway area, wooden lookout area with some logs carrying a little blue lamp on top. And if we change this to pitch dark, I suppose, this is what we can see. First thing we see when we go inside is a log right in our face because there's not much room in here. So it's literally just a spiral staircase going up around a log pillar all the way up to the top, nothing else to see until you get to this little wooden walkway with these vertical glass slabs connected to some of these full glass blocks. Now, once again, this is a lighthouse. It's very bright, but there isn't a light that spins around at the top and shines out towards the sea. You do have this light right here, but it doesn't serve that purpose. Now, when I changed it to pitch dark, you could see that the entire house was lit up. So technically speaking, it is a lighthouse, but this is more of a tower than anything else. Regardless, pretty cool, good build. On to the next one. All right, map number 6 out of 13. We have okay, so the terrain on this one is very cool. Like, legitimately, it's very cool. Well done. I like what I see. There's nothing else besides the lighthouse itself. and it just looks very creative. So well done with this. I'm gonna start over here at the beginning of the path. So first thing to note is obviously the stone mountainy area. I mean, the stone thing that people have been doing for most of these maps. Pretty cool, good idea. You also have some sand that's kind of creeping up the side there, pretty creative. As we walk down this path, we can see it starts with dirt and it slowly transitions into the stone, and it has some more dirt up there. You can see on the side you get this basalt that kind of crawls up the side, just like the sand does down there. Looks like we have two ways we can go. One is up towards the tower, one is down towards the water. Maybe you can park a little boat here. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, just looking up at it. Very creative. I like how it's all not super even and prettified. It's got these little holes in the walls and everything. It's very jaggedy, not perfect, just like you'd expect to see in a real terrain, real lighthouse. Next thing I see is a tree made of logs. It's a dead tree. I like these different tree designs. Walking up to the lighthouse itself, it's made out of basalt, it's made out of stone, and it's made out of logs. And then at the top, it looks like we might have some asphalt and some metal. So let's see if there's anything going around the lighthouse. No, just a little ridge from the stone. Yeah, let's go inside. So we've got a big door. Walk inside. It kind of feels like a little church tower or something. I don't know. It feels really good. I like this terrain a lot. Even more than looking at the lighthouse, I like it a lot. Obviously, the architecture looks really nice on the outside, but the terrain itself is really well done. I know I've said that a bunch of times, but it's true. So walking up the stairs, let's see what we got. These stairs are a little bit weird. They're actual stair blocks, but the way that they have holes in them is a bit weird. And this room in general just kind of feels a bit off, because I think the staircase should go around the perimeter instead of just being in this one little area. And maybe there could be something else down here, but to be fair, I didn't reprimand any of the other maps for not having a beautiful inside. And that's just because I guess the standards for this one feel a little bit higher because the outside is so good. All right, walking up to the second floor, just kind of the same thing. And then we go around a pillar of wood all the way up to the top. It looks like we're stuck. There's a little block in the way here. I guess that was accidentally placed. I just broke it for you. And if we step out here, we get to the very top, I think. Oh no, maybe the second to top layer. It's a little ridge where we can look out at everything. Head back in, we'll go back up the stairs, and we get to the metal part with the glass all around us and the asphalt below us. And as you can see, we've got 3 yellow light bulbs that shine out at the sea. This one I think is done better because it has that 360 view. Nothing's obstructing it. If it has to shine downward at a slight angle, it can do that if it needs to point towards the sea. So all good. And this one uses the yellow lights as well. So it seems like everyone kind of has the same idea using the yellow lights for some reason. I will say it's a little bit cramped up here. If I could walk out onto this asphalt, that would be good. Maybe a little bit of like a fence or something blocking my way so I don't fall off would be nice. But anyway, that's this map. Real nice. I like it a lot. I think this is one of my favorites so far. Next up, oh wait, this isn't, yeah. All right, next one, map number 7 out of 13. The first thing I see is these long wooden bridges. Now, at first, this might seem pretty simple, pretty small, and not really small, but yeah, just simple, with a very thin, narrow bridge leading to the lighthouse. But at the same time, I like it a lot, and the reason I like it just looking at it from the outside is because of the huge windows, number one. Secondly, the architecture looks pretty well done. So if you look at this fence kind of surrounding the upper deck, you have the holes in the fence, and I don't know. I don't really know what makes a good fence and what doesn't, but this one is obviously good. The architecture of the roof on top is well done too, but the main thing that I like when I look at it is how the lighthouse sinks down into the ocean. It goes all the way down into the bottom of the ocean, and if you come down here as far as you can, it kind of disappears into the darkness. And if I was to place a lamp, oh my god, yeah, this goes really low. Where are we even? So it comes all the way down. Oh, is the entire world flat? Oh, maybe this is just how the world generation is. I don't know. I've never gone to the bottom of an ocean before with a nostalgic world generation. So I guess this is just how it is, maybe. And the lighthouse kind of builds up from there. And actually, yeah. This is going to be a problem. If you place a block underwater, you're going to get this little issue here. So if I was to, for example, place a block kind of floating, then you're going to be missing a water block there, and then you'll have to stack them back up, place a water source, break this, place a water source. That would be annoying. I'm sure that'll be changed in the future. So anyway, let's walk into the lighthouse and see what we got. Actually, before we do that, let's change the lighting to something else. Now let's go to dark night and see what it looks like. So pretty cool. It's not super lit up, It's not super dark either. It looks just right. Okay, back to Earth Day, and let's walk inside. We've got a big door made out of basalt and logs. And as we walk in, oh my goodness. All right, I need a screenshot of this right there. Yeah, this is really cool. So we have the skinny bridge leading up to the lighthouse, and then inside we have these wooden plank slabs, and it's kind of a broken bridge. This seems to be sort of an abandoned lighthouse, or like a building that's just not well taken care of at all. I'd say it's more abandoned than anything else. And then when you walk down, the stairs have been flooded by the ocean, so the ocean water has come up to the top. If we walk inside, we start floating downward, and as you can see, it keeps on going downward in a spiral staircase. I'm guessing there's no secrets up here. I can just keep on going down. I'm gonna sink down and down and down. The sinking speed in this game has gotten, I feel like it's gotten slower and slower. But we're going to slowly float down to the bottom, and if we look up, we can see darkness and then the actual main floor of the lighthouse. But down here, we have some sort of contraption with these stairs, not sure what that's supposed to be. And then we have a hole that goes down to under the earth itself, and we have a little floating block. Not sure why that's there, but okay. If we come back up, let's go back to the broken bridge. Yeah, some of this, I'm not really sure what it's supposed to represent. But we've got these logs kind of hanging down. Oh, is this supposed to be a ladder? Maybe this is supposed to be a ladder. Then you've got a light in the middle. I like how it's dimly lit, too. That's really good. That's good for this kind of ambiance. So you have kind of the abandoned building, and you have one light bulb inside, so it's dimly lit. This is the next floor. We have a lava block right here, just kind of chilling out. We go up again. We have the main room with all the big windows. We have quite a bit of room to move around, which I like. Some of the other ones didn't have that. And then right in the middle, we have a spinning container of metal, which will spin around and the light will shine out towards the ocean. It'll be obstructed a little bit by these logs. Not a huge deal since you have so many windows, but it is a deal just in case you want that 360 view. And the light itself is held up by a big wooden pillar. But the wooden pillar is made out of slabs, so pretty cool architecture there. And then on top you have these wooden planks that's kind of holding up the ceiling. One thing I noticed is that you're not able to get out to this outside walkway. There's no door or anything. And that's it for this world. Once again, it seems very simple, just looking at it from the outside, but it's got those little kind of atmospheric features about it that I really like. The main thing being how it kind of disappears into the bottom of the ocean. And then the second thing, of course, with the inside is how it's kind of broken and abandoned in here. And as you walk down the stairs, you notice that the entire thing is flooded. I think that's very cool. All right, spawning in for the next one, we have this lighthouse right here made out of asphalt and metal blocks for the most part. Then we've got some aluminum and a bunch of glass up top. And as you can see, this one actually has a little static animation of the light shining out towards the sea/terrain. Very cool, creative, well done. I could actually see something like this being a little parkour map. Now you can actually see it a little bit better if we go to, pitch dark. Right here you can see the light kind of shining out from the top room. Let me actually get a screenshot of that. Kind of a stylish screenshot right there. Again, I'm always impressed by architecture that has all these slabs and stairs and juts out on the sides and everything and properly holds up the structure up top, because with my builds I don't really do that kind of thing. Mine are more straightforward. These ones look a lot better than something I would build. So let's walk inside. We've got a big metal door. On the bottom, we've got, what is this? Oh, those are boom boxes, actually. Interesting. If we right-click these, you get some sound, obviously. You can't change the tone or anything. That's just kind of a in-progress block in the game. But he's using it for decoration, and it looks pretty cool. I like it. It's a different kind of, I guess it's kind of like this packed lunar soil, but it's just got that different feeling to it. It's got a more modern, metalish vibe to it. I'm going to take a screenshot inside here too, because I kind of like this room. It feels very modern. You've got these water pillars with glass around it. You've got the bright white stairs. You've got the lights in the corner with the metal and the asphalt. So let's walk up these stairs. I'm assuming you can swim up those water pipes as well, but I'm going to go up the stairs. Oh, maybe you don't want to swim up those pipes. It'll just kind of lock you in this container and you'll suffocate and drown. Continuing up, we get to the top floor, which has the light itself with a big metal panel surrounding it with asphalt on the top and bottom. And the lights is yellow once again, surrounded by whites. It's facing which way? It's facing this way and that way a little bit, so it almost perfectly matches up with the beam of light that's shining towards the terrain. There's that little graphical issue with the with the glass panes again. And that's about it for this lighthouse. Very cool, once again, and very unique. I don't think we're going to be seeing another one like this. All right, next lighthouse, we have a big dirt path right here. We have some stuff over there as well, but I'm not going to go check that out because I don't think it's part of the lighthouse build. I'm going to drop down right here, and we have a little basin. Oh! Okay, there's something under there. Dunk. There's an underground path. If I mine this out, is it going to take me somewhere? Actually, I can just no-clip through the wall. Yeah, nothing is mined out. I thought it was going to take me over to that, whatever that structure is over there, but it looks like it's not connected. I do see something underground right there, though, with some C4. But back to the lighthouse, we have a nice little dirt path that leads up to it. I like the detail of the dirt path, instead of a stone path. Stone paths are good, too. The fact that you can differentiate between the dirt and the grass because grass doesn't bleed over onto the dirt. Walking up to the lighthouse, it's made out of aluminum and metal, and then you've got the hazard block right here as the door, so we'll walk in. We've got a bunch of wooden planks with an X on the wall. It looks like we can go downstairs as well. I guess we'll do that. Let's walk down there. Got a bunch of stone with some yellow lights. And I'm actually curious about that room. Okay, so yeah, there's more to do. So if we continue going down this staircase, keep on going down in a spiral formation. Eventually, we'll reach these aluminum blocks with some yellow lights, some red lights, and some blue lights. This is a little tunnel we're gonna walk through here. It looks kind of dangerous, like we're walking into radioactive area or something like that. And we've got some windows, yeah, into I don't know if this is supposed to be a mining. Let's no-clip through this wall. It's got a little room, and if we no-clip through the other wall, we've got a bigger room with a bunch of C4. That's about it. There's nothing else in here. Oh, there's a whole bunch down there. Yeah, so there's just a whole bunch of underground stuff. I'm not going to get too much into this, just kind of something interesting to look at. If we climb up these wooden stairs instead of going downstairs, we reach this middle level, which has these boom boxes, and then not much else. Looks like it's very simple on the inside, just like most of the other lighthouses. If we walk up another level, we get to the metal level, the metal lookouts, with the little ridge around the side so we don't fall off. And it has the light up here. Once again, so this light is good and then it has the 360 view. The problem is it doesn't actually have the 360 because if it wants to shine out towards the sea, it can't do that because the metal goes too far out and these little metal panels are kind of blocking the view of the light as well. So a little bit unfortunate, but once again, it's pretty interesting how most people are using the yellow light over any other color. I guess that's just the color that first comes to mind when people are building these lighthouses. Very nice. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so spawning in, this is what we see. We've got a boat next to a dock right here. We've got a big lighthouse made out of basalt and sand in the center. And then on the other side, we've got a big long wooden bridge. So we are going to start over here. Walking up, this is what we see. Very cool. I like how tall it is. As it goes up, it kind of gets smaller and smaller. And at the top, it has that architectural ridge. And then right above that, you have the top room with windows. This is kind of what we get. So very cool scenery. You don't see a lot of people building with sand in this pre-alpha stage of the game. So I like the contrast between the sand and the basalt and the packed lunar soil. I think that looks pretty good. We got limestone into the game, which is this white block up here. So maybe that could look pretty cool too. Before we go into the lighthouse, let's run around this metal ridge, or this stony ridge out here. And let's see, is there any way to get down to the dock? We could walk around the side like this, but I bet you there's a staircase somewhere. So let's walk inside of the lighthouse. And yeah, let's go downstairs. I think this will lead right to the dock. If we go down here, yeah, so we're at the dock, and the dock is very small. It looks like it holds 2 boats, or, you know, or however many you can fit around the dock. And the boat itself is nicely suspended, nicely floating in the water. It's made out of wooden planks. It's got a log in the middle with a snowy flag. I like that flag. I like how it's so very bright. It kind of steals the show, so to speak. Going back inside the lighthouse, we get a little... Oh, there's another downstairs, and then we have exit to the ridge itself. Before we go downstairs, we're going to go upstairs and check it out. So this first room, we've got a bed of sand and snow. Actually, it looks pretty comfy. We've got a log and a grass block on top of that. Maybe that's supposed to be some kind of makeshift lamp or something. And over here, we have a couch made out of sand. I don't know what it is about the sand, but it just gives off that feeling of comfort along with the snow. These actually feel like they could be pretty comfy to sit in or lay down on. You have a desk over here. I guess this is supposed to be a little TV that turns on and off. If we go up the staircase again, we have this little room here with not much in it. If we go up again, we have a room with a very tall ceiling and a spiral staircase. So let's go all the way up top there. It looks like some of these stairs you actually have to jump up, and then some of them are a little bit disconnected. They have you fall down a little bit. All right, we're all the way at the top. We made it to the top of the spiral stairs. And oh, nope, there's another floor up top. In this one, we have a lava block that is going to burn the entire place down. All right. We've got a desk with a lamp on it. Let's move up once again to the next floor. Next floor is, again, just pretty much nothing in here, like usual with a lot of these lighthouses. Again, I did ask to keep it nice and simple, so we don't want too much complexity, and that's what everyone's doing, so great. As we walk around the outside ridge, not much out here. There's not a lot of space, actually, to move around. And one thing that's pretty interesting, this architectural ring that I talked about earlier, actually, it's not just a ring. It kind of sways up and down. I think that's pretty cool. That's a nice little creative decision. Although there's not a lot of space to walk on the inside, that's totally fine because the outside makes up for that. Let's walk up the final set of stairs and get to the actual roof of the lighthouse where the big light is. It's different than the other ones. It's made out of slabs, so you can see the metal pillar in the middle, and it's made out of slabs on the side. It's got that yellow and white pattern, so yellow lights again. It doesn't have the ability to shine out 360 degrees. It's blocked by some of this stone. It looks like the roof is also made out of sand. It's got little holes in it. It's not perfect, but I think that was the whole point of this build. It's supposed to be a little bit swaying, a little bit imperfect is the whole idea. Pretty cool. Again, I like how it's super tall. I like how it gets thinner and thinner as it goes up, and I like the contrast between the basalt and the sand. Now, if we go into the basement, which is something I skipped last time. So the first part where you can go down, it leads you to the dock. But then if you go down the other direction, I think, where was that actually? Oh, right here. So instead of going out to the ridge, you go down to the basement. We've got a dark room with some blue light down there. So let's head down. And a long corridor of aluminum and metal and stone. Freaky looking rooms, honestly. Looks like there should be some aliens down here. I don't know if this is supposed to be a gallery or what. Let's head into the next room. We've got some metal shelves. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit freaky looking. If I break this wall, oh boy, I do not want to fall down there. I'm going to replace that and go back around. We've got a window into another hallway right here. I feel like this can be like a murder scene. What's that game where there's like an imposter and then there's, you know the game where there's an imposter and then there's a bunch of little colorful guys walking around? Whatever that game is, it kind of feels like that. Walking into here, we have a room where you can fall down, apparently. Yeah, I'm gonna no-clip through the walls because I don't want to show all this. It was mainly just to show the lighthouse, and I have some other lighthouses to get to as well. But if we kind of look at these bigger rooms... Oh my goodness, look at this one. So you come down here, you're in these corridors, you come out of the corridor, and oh, it looks like we have some other colors too. We have a room here with a big, what looks like a display, some kind of TV or something, with a bunch of bleachers or something. It looks kind of cultish. And if we head in here, we've got this big open room that leads down into the void. This is very cool. This is very creative. I like it a lot. I'm actually going to take a screenshot. Take a screenshot right here. That's pretty cool. If I flow over here, we've got some red lights with very tall ceilings. If we no-clip into the wall, we can see some other stuff as well. So we've got a lighter room down there with some different colors. We have a bunch more corridors. If you feel like exploring this place, feel free to download the map for yourself. Yeah, pretty cool. I like all the detail that's put into it. Let's move on to the next one. All right, the third to last lighthouse, which means this is number 11, I think. When we spawn in, we have a spiral of white snow and black turned off lights for the different colors, the different materials. We have a little dirt path around it with some stone as well. And if you look off into the distance, we have a secondary lighthouse, which I guess I'll be showing that one as well. So let's see if we can find an entrance to this one. All right, I guess there's actually no entrance, so I'm gonna no-clip it. Oh my... okay, this is kind of freaky. Oh boy, okay, I don't want to break everything actually. I'm gonna replace that. This is what we get. Nothing down here, really. Let's fly back up to the top. Huh, interesting. So I think this lighthouse was probably something that was kind of a first draft. It's not really complete. You do have a light on the side right here. Let's fly over to that other one and see what's going on. Yeah, this one looks a little bit more complete. So I'm going to drop down and check out this house really quick. We come inside of here. Yeah, there's nothing inside. It's just a little house. You can see the snowy lighthouse in the distance. That's pretty cool. And walking up to this one, we can walk right in. I like doors that have an interesting structure like this. They're not just a 1x2 block entrance. It's got some design to it. We walk in, we have a stony floor and some logs holding the whole thing up. You can see all the way up to the top, and we've got a staircase right in the middle, so let's walk all the way up. Alright, I'm where the glass is at, but there's some blocks in my way. So this light shines out, and then it kind of rotates around the pillar. So it does have that 360 view, which is a good thing. It's obviously a little bit cramped, and I can't really move around. If I'm walking up here and this thing starts rotating, my head's gonna get chopped off. It looks like these two lighthouses are kind of scoping each other out. If this was a battle, I think that one over there would win. Alright, the second to last lighthouse we're spawning in, we're right here. Here's the lighthouse, here's a big tree, and then there's some stony hillside with some dirt up top. So we've seen these design decisions before with the rest of the builds. Once again, I have to say I like it a lot. I like how the sand kind of creeps up the side here, although maybe that's a natural generation thing. And actually, on second thought, now that I pointed out on a different map how the basalt is kind of sprinkled around with the terrain. That might actually be a natural generation thing that I just didn't know about, because you can see that it's all over there as well. So it just it looks like a natural thing. Actually, come to think of it, what happens if I dig into here? Oh, okay, so it's all basalt. Okay, I didn't know that. They probably blew up the side of the hill with TNT or just mined it out by hand so that they could get some of the basalt showing instead of laying it all down manually. I thought it was all laid down manually because I don't play on this world generation. My single player world is on the lunar surface generation instead. The lighthouse itself has packed lunar soil going down into the ocean, supporting the actual lighthouse itself, which is made out of a spiral of snow and asphalt. Goes all the way up. It got some windows in it as well. And at the top we have this wooden lookout area with some glass on the side to make sure we don't fall. And then we have the yellow lamp on top. It does have a 360 view, but once again we have a yellow light. Let's drop back down all the way to the bottom. We've got a little rowboat pulling up to the side of the hill with a little magma block in the center. Don't want to step on that. Let's go up this natural staircase up the rocky side of the hill all the way up to the top, where it leads us to a very creative tree. There seems to be quite a bit of effort put into these trees. Now, it's a little bit messy up top, but I mean, that's just the style of the tree, right? Pretty cool. I hope that we get some interesting trees like this spawning naturally in the game, and that they all don't just kind of look the exact same. You also have a little swing that hangs down. I also like how this area of the hill kind of juts out so it becomes a cliff. I don't think we've seen that yet either. Anyway, we have to go back down to the bottom of the hill to find the entrance. I actually had to look around a little bit for this. As we walk into the lighthouse, there's nothing down here, just a big wooden staircase that goes all the way up. Once again, I like how wide the staircase is. You don't really have to worry about your footing that much. That's something that I can definitely learn from as a design decision. And then once you get to the top room, you're right next to these lights, and then you step out onto the wooden path. So yeah, more than the lighthouse, this one was more interesting because of the outside area. Kind of the little rowboat that's pulling up to the hill, and then the natural staircase that leads up to the top, the little cliff with the swing and the tree. I think these are the main attractions. In fact, I'm gonna take a screenshot I think maybe like right here. That is a really nice detail with this swing. I haven't thought about that before. Very creative. Let's move on to the next one. All right, the very last lighthouse. So, spawning in, we see this. A stony hillside once again, but instead this time we have kind of stone pillars that are sticking up. Staircases that go up the side of the bottom of the lighthouse. I'm not able to climb up them. Actually, I think those stairs might be more of support beams that kind of hold the logs up. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Anyway, if we fly over here, we actually have to fly to get onto the stone. And let's walk inside. Another nice little doorway. We've got a packed lunar soil floor with the snowy inside and some orange lights as well. Looks like it gets pretty dark as it goes up. Let's fly up there. Yeah, it looks like there's actually not a top room. I flew up here and it's just the light itself. We can kind of fall into the light, but obviously you're not supposed to be able to do that. And it looks like this light just rotates 360 and it has full view of absolutely everything. This is how it should be. It should have a full view, a great angle towards every part of the ocean. Not much going on inside the lighthouse, but pretty cool regardless. And I do like the design of the wooden plank stairs that kind of bounce between the logs. I think that's pretty creative. Alright, so that's the end of the submissions. There were a bunch of them, and I think every single one of them had something unique and creative about it, so they all deserve a little bit of praise. However, I think there are a few that stood out among the crowd. The first thing I'm going to do here is go over Sir Ninja Monkey's feedback that he sent me of his top 5, and then as I'm reading off his top 5, I'm also going to be giving my top 2, I think. There are 2 in particular that I would say would fight for first place. So his number 5 was from Axolotl Guy 7. He said very colorful and he liked the surrounding platform. So the screenshot on screen right now is of this submission, and what he means by surrounding platform is that packed lunar soil and then kind of the grass that's growing up on the side of the entranceway there that you can see. His number 4 is from Bruce, and this is the one with the boats in the docking area with that big crane that's lifting it up. And the things he likes about this one are the trees, which I agree. I like all the big trees. And some of the other submissions also had some pretty interesting trees, as I've already talked about. And the ship being built, which I totally agree with. I think the ship was the best part. I like the crane that's holding up the ship the most and how the ship is suspended just above the water. That was very creative. I also like how the ship isn't completely built. It's just kind of like the hull or the chassis of the ship, I guess. I don't know what you would actually call that, but just kind of the outline of the ship. His number 3 was from Imp Steve, and that is the Spooky Island one. So he says he likes the spooky vibe. Yes, me too. He likes the dead tree, and he says that it's also just well built all around, and I agree with that as well. The main thing I like about this one is the terrain. The terrain, I think, had a bunch of effort put into it, and I like the natural walkways that go from the water up to the tower, and just the dirt path and how it kind of transitions from stone into dirt into grass at the end there. All around, just a great build, and I really like the vibes and the terrain. And this is actually a contender for my top 2. I think my top 2 could switch on any given day, just I guess depending on what my mood is. But for today, I'm going to say that this one is actually my number 1. So congratulations to Imp Steve on getting my number 1 pick. Now this is number 3 for Sir Ninja Monkey, so we're going to go see what else he has listed above this one. His number 2 is for .3DZ, and this is the Sunken Lighthouse. This is the other one that I would say contends for first place. And he liked how it's sunken, he likes the accurate lighting, and I also mentioned this in my little critique as I went through it as well. I like how it's just very dimly lit. It really feels like more of an abandoned building than anything else. He thinks it's well built all around, and he likes how it's fully furnished. Yeah, this one had a very unique vibe, had something very special to it, very creative. And this is the one that I would give second place to. And his number 1 is from the Haxover, which is the tall basalt and sand one with the boat in the back with the snowy flag. He says it's well built all around, it's quite large, fully furnished, awesome underground area. I agree with that, and fun to explore. I wouldn't have this in my top 2, just because the underground area isn't really relevant to the tower itself. This build challenge was more about the tower itself, and maybe a little bit of the surrounding area, like the little dock and the little boat also add to it. I think the underground stuff was more of just a little bonus. So keeping all that in mind, I gave the sunken one second place, and he did too. I gave the spooky one first place, and he gave it third place, and he gave the Haxover first place, but I wouldn't even give it third place. I'd give something else third place. Maybe the one that has the light shining out, and it has all those light blocks that are kind of suspended in midair, that's showcasing like a static animation of the light shining out. Maybe that one, or maybe the one with the little swing that says hanging down from the tree. So that means that the Haxover's submission will drop below second place. So really, the highest ranked submissions we have are both tied for second place. Or I guess in this case you could say they're both tied for first place, and that would be Imp Steve's Haunted Island and also .3DZ's Sunken Lighthouse. So congratulations to both of them. Those were some awesome builds, and once again, all the submissions had something interesting and creative, and it was fun playing through them, so thank you very much for submitting, everybody. I think we'll have another one of these soon. I saw that some others were planning on having some kind of modding competition, which sounds pretty fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that, and thank you very much for watching.